Because I'm the one that sets up the tent. I got to do all this stuff. You're out playing disc golf.
Damn.
What?
The face he's giving me.
Welcome back to Unstable Discourse.
Let's go.
Yeah, boy.
I'm your host, Alex Seminary of Disc Golf Chicago, and I'm here with Ryan Fancher of Unstable Disc Golf.
Yes, sir.
Sean Callahan of Delwood Disc Golf.
Good morning.
Jason Callahan of Beg of Tricks.
You diggity dog.
And the Deucer, the Queen of the Canyon, Sheila Callahan, is in the house with us.
Hi.
Also got Baby Bro Max, as always. And
Yeah, son.
Jack and Cooper here, just keeping us safe. Little watchdogs. Max has his cell phone out right now. He's making a TikTok. By the way, if you don't follow Max on TikTok yet, you should. He puts a lot of content from this show on his TikTok.
You're missing out on that juicy UD content.
So
Behind
you
the
say you dick?
scenes.
You dick.
You
I
dick.
almost said you dick.
You dick.
Because I was
See,
looking
if-
at you. I
if
was
you
like, I
didn't-
want to see you dick.
If you didn't say anything, I could have just edited it. But
Yeah.
now it's
Nope.
too late.
It's a thing.
Now it's
Yeah.
in.
Could've fixed it.
Yeah.
What is your TikTok, by the way? At Maxwell Seminary.
Mm.
There can only be one. Check it out. That's probably the best place you're ever going to see video content of this show.
Yeah, right.
So,
Yeah.
That's true.
we have a kind of a special episode here. This is the season finale of the front nine of season 4. And after this, we're taking a break.
Mid-season finale.
Mid-season.
Yeah.
finale.
Mid-season
Is there?
finale.
There's got to be a specific term for that, no?
Yeah.
think that's it.
The mid-season finale is
Yeah.
the specific term.
Okay.
Yeah.
That works.
Yep.
We're going to take a break for the summer, and then we'll be back to do the back nine. When do we come back, Sheila?
I don't know.
We'll
we
figure it
don't
out.
have a date.
TBD.
Yeah.
TDB.
Septiembre.
TDB.
TDB. But yeah, you guys have a ton of events that are about to be popping off. So
But
today,
also, I know that by, 4 days from now, I'm going to be like, I miss it.
does he sound like that sometimes when
Yeah.
he's
Sheila, I miss it.
Yeah.
Why didn't you make me a smoothie? It's just 2 more apples. I love
That's good.
the topic that you've queued up for this episode. We're going to be talking about re-understanding the player experience, which is cool because you guys, primarily event organizers these days and proprietors and
Yeah.
and apparel producers. But you guys have gotten
Some
back,
of us.
not naming any names.
Mhm.
You guys have gotten back into the competitive side of things. I'm excited to chime in on that too because I've been playing a handful of tournaments lately as
Yeah.
well. Really excited for Jason's input when we get into all that too.
Yeah, I'm going to do the best I can to offer any kind of commentary on that. Or you can just cut my mic off now. Either one is acceptable.
Oh, it hasn't been on the whole
Oh,
time.
fair enough. All right,
Yeah.
fair enough.
Mhm.
Makes
No,
sense.
you usually do when we get into stuff that you just do not have any input on. You always ask good questions.
So that's where I do have a ton of questions about what this has been like for you guys. So get ready.
Oh, I'm ready. The mailbag is nice and fat today as well. There was some decent stuff from listeners. We're also going to get a treat from Jason with the trivia portion of the night.
That's right, baby.
Sickening.
What is that?
I don't know.
That's the sickening. Sickening. Sick. That's sick.
That's
Oh,
Sickening.
cool. Okay, hell yeah.
It's like Will and William,
I got it now. Now it really clicks.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's all the things for this episode. So why don't we get into Fired Up?
All the fired up.
nice. That's good.
You said it earlier. So
Yeah,
I was
no,
like, oh,
that's
could
good.
be funny.
Yeah, that's good. No, that's good. I got one. I think I'm pretty sure my math is correct. As of the day that this episode is going to drop, there will be a brand new Foo Fighters album that I am super duper excited about.
Foo Fighters.
The Foo Fighters. Yeah.
What is the name of said album?
Oh, here we are now. Here we go.
So swimmy, slippy, slappy, slimming, Swanson.
Here's the thing. The word here is definitely in it.
Puyo
Kyopyo.
Kyopyo is the name of that album. It is, but Here We Are is the name of the album.
But here we are.
And I've done just a tiny bit of research, but this is obviously post Taylor Hawkins passing. So the themes of the record are very much about Dave's feelings towards that situation.
So most of it was written after his passing? Because that's been very quick. Or was it just recorded after? Or
All the above.
Okay.
You know,
in the midst
if
of.
right.
Okay.
If I know Sir Dave Grohl as much as I do. I bet he's had some of this in the hopper.
Because you and Dave are like,
David?
Yeah.
Yeah.
David? Oh,
Yeah.
David? Yeah.
And so a lot of this seems like there's 3 tracks released as of this record. One of them literally earlier today that just
recording. Go ahead.
absolutely blew me away. It's a record. And yeah, I'm very, very, very excited for what this album is going to be. Super pumped. Can't wait to hear it.
Hell yeah.
That's my fired up.
Do you guys still like going to concerts, or would you still go to concerts?
Yeah.
Choosy. I don't just go to anything.
Yeah.
But every 5 years, I will go to like Tool, which is like,
Big deal.
stupid good.
But would you go if there weren't like assigned seats?
No.
Oh, God, no.
That's where I'm at. Like,
No,
No,
Need
I'm
a
too
seat.
tired for that.
if I'm going to any concert, it has to be a big deal, and I want assigned seats.
Yeah.
And I want it to be where the fan base is not likely to behave like animals. And I know this is the oldest thing I've ever said on the show.
It is.
I'm a very old person now, but
You're
I
done now. You're
cannot
done.
be around unruly
It's
animals.
too much.
Not too many people.
Right.
I'm like, no.
Mhm.
Then
not
you should have
even.
been with Sheila and I last February when we were at the Chicago Theater and saw The War on Drugs, because that was one of the coolest freaking shows, and it was exactly what you guys are describing.
Yeah.
It was just sit back and listen to the best live music you've ever.
Yeah.
I
it was
really-
great.
into that.
However, people do stand up, and then you're like, damn it. No, I got to stand up.
But
Mhm.
there were we
Yeah.
had rules.
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah, I'm more of a go to live podcasts. Feel like my speed now.
I think
So-
the last concerts I've been to have been like big jazz clubs at a table and you sit down and have a few drinks. Like we saw Tower of Power in Oakland in their hometown, and that was mind blowing, amazing. But
Wow.
people weren't like screaming and like everybody was sitting down and behaving like civilized people. It was awesome.
I mean, like literal jazz, like the music you heard was being created in that moment, jazz type.
Some of it,
Yeah.
yeah. But in the case of Tower of Power, it's more like a concert. You know, they
Yeah.
have stuff from the 70s on, you know, and it's amazing. But yeah, I'd rather go to that than 60,000 people screaming it. No,
Right.
I'm good on that.
There was a time in my life where I wanted to do that, but it's since passed.
Here, so now we've gotten the setup. We know how everybody feels. Foo Fighters, you're going to see them live if there's,
I want to. Yeah, I mean, it depends on the venue, I suppose. The next concert that I have is this summer. All 3 of us are going to see Fall Out Boy, and I'm pretty excited about that.
cool.
But
Where at?
Wrigley.
Okay,
Almost
so you'll have
certainly
seats.
Wrigley.
Right on.
Yep.
Liz bought us tickets to go see The Offspring and Sum 41 at Tinley Park.
Oh, they're done. Did you know that? Some 41 is
Yeah.
breaking
Yeah,
up.
right,
after this
right,
album.
right.
Yeah.
And I was like, I told you I don't want to go to concerts, but if we're going to be on the lawn and we're going to have like our own little area, I think I'll be okay.
My neighbors, who are basically the same age as I am, just went and saw Blink.
Mid-50s
Yeah,
listener.
yeah. Went and saw Blink 182,
Mm.
and I saw them as they were leaving because it was like midday at that point, and they were like all dressed up and like they were going to a concert. And I talked to them the next day, and I was like, "Oh, how was the concert?" They were like, "It was okay," and I was like, "Yep, that's exactly how I would feel.
Yeah.
I don't need to do that."
Yeah.
I
So-
saw Blink back when they did the Mark, Tom, and Travis show, that tour that they did, that they put out the live album.
Yeah.
They played in Tinley, and I was there, and it was great. But I don't know that I would be at that level of excitement
Nah.
at 44 that I was at 21 or 20, whatever I was when I saw it.
I don't think there's a single artist or act that I would be willing to go see in like conventional concert settings, like by the stage, surrounded by people. You could tell me John Lennon came back from the dead. He's doing a free show. There's no circumstances that I will ever go to a concert in that setting ever again. No matter who, what, where, no matter who you are with.
Just
No matter where or who you are with or where you are going or where you've been.
But yeah, no way. There's not a single show that I would see like that ever again.
like what? What is the specifics again?
Like,
I'm lost.
like you're standing in a sea of people,
Uh-huh.
and that's it. Like I need to be sitting down.
Oh, I see. I
Like
see.
you gotta go to the
Standing room only.
bathroom, and it's
I-
like
no
a
standing.
chore.
I would be okay with standing, but like if everybody still has assigned seats, because like I just don't want people like pushing all over the place.
Yeah,
Right.
It's just not worth it to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
totally.
This has been aging yourself with
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alex Seminary.
The 5 of us.
hmm
The fired up should have been fizzled out.
Burning
Yeah, my God.
Hey,
Oh,
smoldering
the-
out.
Small all things.
Yeah.
Blink-182.
See, I did. Yeah.
I had a Blink
Brought it
182
back.
story, if I'm allowed to share. It's kind of funny, and it's a little dig at myself. Q101 Jamboree 99 saw them at the peak of
Mhm.
Blink
That
182.
is when you wanted to see Blink 182.
TRL, yeah.
And right, and me and my girlfriend at the time, Becky Lomar, bought matching shirts that were bright orange,
Okay.
and then wore them at the same time to school, like the following Monday. And I caught shit from like everybody I knew because we were walking in the halls together, and I was like, "Oh my god, what did I do? What have I done?"
Cool, bro.
Yeah, so
This
that's
is
my
going to
story.
be in the yearbook.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's my story.
That's cute.
That's it.
Do we hate this Becky character?
No.
No,
You're too chill. Liz would be like, "Come on, that bitch."
She doesn't have time to hate.
No.
I have 2 things for Fired Up. They'll be quick. Not everybody has one, it seems like.
I do. I just didn't want to go.
Oh, well, you're so particular.
I have one too.
Oh, well, what the hell? I asked earlier. I don't usually. I'm going.
Yeah.
Come on, we'll do it live.
We'll do it live. So yesterday. What is today? Thursday?
Yep.
All the
Good start.
fried brains.
Yeah, I think it was yesterday. I went to. I'm dead serious. I don't know if it was yesterday.
I love it.
Tuesday or Wednesday, one of those 2 days. I went with Eric Savoy, and Danielle Sass to ITW David Spear Academy in Austin to teach disc golf to high schoolers.
Nice.
Nice.
It was very, very cool, and for me, very hard. I don't feel young or cool enough to be in front of teenagers.
Yeah.
I thought the entire time, as soon as I turn my back, these kids are roasting me to each other 100%, which I would be doing if I was one of those
Right.
kids. But Eric and Danielle were both really, really good at instructing, so I think we came off pretty well. We did 2 different gym classes. It was outside on their football field, so we had enough space to like throw, which was a lot of fun. As kids came out, they had the option: do you want to go do this disc golf class thing, or do you want to do like their normal gym stuff? And about half of each class came and chose to do disc golf. So we had 2 classes with about 35 kids in both of them. So a total of like 70 kids. And at the start of each class, I was like, raise your hand if you know anything about disc golf. And nobody in either class had ever heard of disc golf.
Crickets.
Wow.
Literally.
Wow.
Yeah. Which to me really highlighted like the cool thing that we're doing with Disc Golf Chicago is like trying to make inner city kids like aware of it and create a demand for it, and then create accessibility.
Can I ask a very un-PC question
Oh,
in the
I
most
was
PC way possible?
Yeah.
What were the
Demographics.
What were the demographics of the audience that you had?
I would say largely Hispanic, and the next most populous demographic, I guess, would have been African American. I don't know if I saw a white kid there. Maybe 1 or 2.
Okay. In your opinion, because you experienced it, do you feel as though that played a role in whether or not they had even heard of it prior?
Probably.
to
I mean,
that?
the disc golf
Well, yeah,
is maybe
because
the
disc
whitest thing you
golf-
can do.
It is the whitest white boy shit you could do.
But
Yes.
also, Austin's in the city, and there's not a lot of open spaces
That's
that
the
have
thing.
course, which you're trying to change.
Also
so
correct.
they've
Yeah.
never been.
How
that
could
was
they
where I
have-
was having with the conversation.
Yeah.
Was
Yeah,
it
How
a-
could they have
Was it
possibly
was it
been
a physical
exposed to it?
demographic thing
Yeah.
or an ethnicity thing?
I
Like,
think
where do you
it's
feel
like
that?
it's not an ethnicity thing necessarily. It's like it's just like cultural, which cultural can apply to like where you're from.
I bet
Sure.
they're not playing tennis either.
Right.
Well, so the interesting thing about this school is that they're like a charter school, and their director of like electives and like programming, he quote wants the kids to be exposed to more traditionally white sports and like subjects.
Okay.
So he was like, disc golf. Let's get these
That's
kids
some white boy shit.
Yeah, let's
Yeah.
do that. Yeah, and it went pretty well. It was a lot of fun. I felt good about what we were doing. We have another one this weekend with Ryan Aquino at Odin School. Eric is going to be going again. Devin Hernandez.
What was
is
the
going.
who was the hookup with the school that you went to?
My friend Aaron Lesser is the dean of electives there, so he kind of gets to choose what kids are going to be, what
Yeah.
programs are going to offer. So the idea here was, let's see if any kids care, like if they get interested, and then we'll check afterwards. Hey, does anybody want to see more of this? Because we can add it as a unit in gym, or we can start a disc golf club.
It's great.
But you can't go, hey, does anybody want to do this if no one's ever seen it?
Right,
heard
exactly.
of
Right.
it.
So that's my
How cool to,
last
do that.
follow-up question is, when it was all said and done, did you see the impact that you were hoping to see?
Well, I have like the Mighty Ducks ending in my head, so I was hoping to see some kids like
There was a bunch of
I wanted to
African-American,
see-
Hispanic kids going, quack,
Yes.
Quack.
Yeah.
Quack.
Yes. What I wanted was, half the kids to be super excited, but realistically, I'd say more like 20%. Like 1 in 5 kids was like, this was awesome.
Okay.
And we were doing games like putting games where we had kids lined up in teams, and you got, you take your putt, and it was like whichever line was the first to make 5 putts or 10 putts or whatever it was, wins. And so there was a lot of cool moments where like kids would make a putt and they'd be like, let's go, and then run to the back of the line, and they'd all be getting like hyping each other up. And then the kids who are good at it were like really getting into it. Like there was one kid who had literally came over to play with us because he saw us throwing the disc, and he said to his teacher, how is that possible? And he was like, you can go do that right now if you want to. So he came over and played. He like took the class, and then he won the putting contest and he won the CTP contest we did.
Right.
No
It's
kidding.
like that kid probably just fell in love with disc golf.
Unbelievable.
That's
Isn't that
great.
weird that is the thing that attracts us really, like at the core? I want to be able to throw that thing like you just did.
Totally.
Like
Yeah.
skipping rocks or like anything else where it's just like this caveman, like, thought process of like, oh, yes, I want to do that too. Like, I love that aspect of it. That's so great.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. And I think it's the start of, we got a lot of good feedback from the teachers too, because we're not instructors. So I was like, let us know how we can do this better. And the more times we do it, the better we're going to get at it. And the idea is to develop a sort of playbook for if you want to teach disc golf at a school, aside from, UDisc giving you this curriculum, here's the channels you go through, and here's some tips on how to do it, and here's a bunch of resources. Like that's what we're trying to build. So
That's great.
It's great.
And then the other thing I'm fired up about is Tailwind Media. That is my marketing agency that I am officially very close to launching. I've done my first couple of projects, couple of video projects. I've not filed the paperwork for an LLC, but that is coming very soon. And I am in dream chasing mode right now. So it is hard to sleep at night because I keep brainstorming and like put my head on the pillow and wake back up and like open the laptop and do more stuff and then close it back. And
If you weren't like that, then you shouldn't be doing
Right,
it.
exactly.
totally.
So
Yeah.
Because that's what it takes.
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm obsessed with it right
I hope
now.
you're
That's
looking
great.
forward to many more years of never sleeping.
I've been like that for a long time. It's just now it'll be something that I can make money from. So
Right.
that's
And be
a good thing.
Yeah, happy about.
Yeah. And obviously I chose the name because I want to use it for disc golf companies and brands and organizations, but I'll it'll be for any small business and nonprofit
Well, you
organization.
need to dive into the spelling of it so that we understand it a little bit better.
So Tailwind, TALE wind, like tail as in like a story. So, we're going to help tell your story. The slogan is, go further. Tailwind Media, go further. We're going to help take your story and tell it, visually with video, audio. There's also local search stuff. So I'm kind of bringing all the years of all this corporate work I've done into a thing that's for me.
So give me an elevator pitch real quick of what you are hoping to accomplish with any and all of these small businesses reach out.
I am hoping to take small businesses and nonprofits and tell their story in a way that drives more business for them so they can make a bigger impact, whether it's like it's a nonprofit and their goal is to make an impact in their communities. I want to help them make bigger impacts. If it's a small business, I want them to make, a healthier business so they can do more for their communities. Like absolutely not interested in working with corporations, big companies.
Yep.
Like yuck, I'm really trying to get away from it. I want to work with real people who are doing stuff they really care about.
And those are the people that have been doing that now for probably 10 years if they've been in business for a little while. And the burnout of doing your own social media is real. Any media at all. So like having you coming in and managing that, not like a Facebook post, but any and all situations with that is, I think, I wish I had somebody like that. Maybe I'll be your first client, dog.
Well, you'd be my second because I have one already. But that's the thing is
Not that my wife is not doing an absolutely fantastic,
like better at it than I am.
fantastic job with social media. I need to mention.
I would love for you to run my social media. Honestly, you are much better at it than I am.
If you want Delwood and Dragons 3 to be hitters, just take over that so she can focus on
Right,
that.
that is true.
Yeah. She got 6 months to figure that out.
She was
I'm
Stop
interested.
giving me so much responsibility over here, please.
I will say that, with the name being really disc golf relevant, I am not interested in making money off of anybody in the disc golf world. Like, I just want to do
But
those
you
projects
also
for
have
fun.
to make a living.
Yeah, and I'm not going to be taking on projects at the sacrifice of
Right.
like my
Yeah.
other responsibilities
Good.
or jobs. But if you have a disc golf entity of some kind and you want a video for it, or you want help with anything marketing wise, I will happily help however I can.
Can we redo this, but in video form and pretend like this is Shark Tank? because that's all I can think about.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, let me sharpen up my pitch because I'm not even. I'm not there
You
yet.
asked, I was like, "This is Shark Tank."
Yeah, yeah.
Give me
Well, yeah,
your
that sounds
elevator
fun.
pitch.
It feels right. It feels like you kind of nudged me in the right direction on that.
Yeah.
Sheila, a while back, you kind of lit a fire under my ass about that. And Lauren Lakeberg as well.
Oh, she is so good at that.
Yeah.
And reminding you of like what you're passionate about.
She keeps our ass fire well lit. Well lit.
Just like Taco Bell does for Jason.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
I know I said mine were going to be quick, but
I'll take the hit on that. That was me,
Yeah.
Brian.
You lied.
well, I was more fired up than I thought.
Yeah.
Right.
Pass those reins.
Hey,
See what else?
we don't have a guest. We are chilling today. This
We're
is
just chilling.
Yeah, it's fine.
that's
We're
just
hanging
what
out.
happens
That's
when-
fine.
Everything's cool, man. Everything is cool, man.
cool,
Just be cool,
Ryan.
man. Just be cool.
It's cool.
Everybody just be cool.
Be cool, be cool, be cool, be cool, be cool, be cool, be cool. Be cool.
You said you were fired up about something.
I am.
Let me go first.
Oh, now Ryan's ready.
Let me go first.
Do you love me?
Oh. I am fired up about playing at Shanahan this last weekend, which I'm sure is also Sean's fired up. That's why let me go first so that you can outdo the fired up that I have. We played a couple rounds at Shanny at the Smooth Series number 2 this past weekend, and it was a great day. The weather was absolutely the most perfect day that we could have asked for.
It was hot, and you love that.
Oh, God, it was amazing. We played 2 rounds. I played 2 rounds with Sean because we tied the first round.
Yes.
Shocker.
Yes, we did.
God damn,
As
you
we
are
do.
cute.
And we played both rounds with Mr. Tim Potter, who we love. And
love
I ended up tied for 3rd with Tim Potter, which I couldn't really ask for much more because we play maybe once a month. And
Out of 15.
out of 15. Yeah, it was all right. Yeah, we did pretty good.
Good crowd.
I had a blast because I haven't played a sanction round since the last Smooth Series, but before that it was like 3 years.
Right.
So the first Smooth Series tournament at Highland didn't really feel as tournament-ish because it was cold and like I wasn't quite ready for the season. But it was, it was a tournament round. It was good. We both cashed. We tied. But this weekend, like it felt like tournament season was in full swing and I was part of it for the first time in a long time and not behind the table. So it was good. Felt good. I feel like I played pretty well. I played better than I felt like I had once we looked at the scores and we had a great time. So go ahead.
I have questions that I want to ask, but I'm going to save it to
No,
when we get
go ahead,
into-
Sean. Go ahead.
Well, I don't want to it's this crazy build up, but I feel the same way as Ryan. I played really well. I have been putting in not like an insane amount, not like Rocky 4, training montage level, but Sheila can attest. The nights where I can and it's nice out, I'm out at the practice basket out here and putting for like an hour and a half until it just until it feels good. Like, and silly little inside putts, the ones that were like, oh my God, if I would have just, like those putts.
Those are the ones.
So like, I've just been putting time in on like 20 footers and just the confidence, having that confidence inside of 20 feet changed my mentality of like what's capable at a tournament for me. I'm not saying that applies to everybody, but for me, that applied.
That does so many things because
Can we save this for the nuts and bolts? This is like exactly what we're
Okay,
talking about.
Totally.
And I'm like, I want to jump in, but
all right, go ahead.
But had a great time. Like Ryan said, he stole all the thunder and said all the details.
Not all the details. Go ahead.
Yeah.
I took it down. I played really well. We tied. We both shot a 5 down first round. We were tied for second. Phil Ash had us by 1. Went into second round. And there were a couple of things, and these are exactly the things. There were 3 of them. There were 2 of them pre-round. Excuse me. There was a third one almost at the end of the second round. That was really cool. But I've got 3 little pieces. In between rounds, of course, because Ryan and I are attached at the hip, we were talking about everything in between. And he's like, very seriously said to me, and it motivated me. He was like, dude, you got this. Like, you need to take hardware home. Like, this is it. It was cool. At one point during the second round, you had also said like, hey man, we're in it. This is like this cool story that we're going to remember years from now. It's happening right now. Soak it in.
God.
And it was just like
waiting for a hole 7.
Hole 7.
Yeah,
it was very, very cool.
So you were Pam taking mental pictures of her wedding day.
100%.
Yeah.
Well, I really wish that somebody was taking photos of that moment. Where were you at, Lauren Lakeberg? Get your shit together.
I didn't know what I was doing.
And then in between rounds, Michele Lopez. Love Michele. She is like, to me, I think that we will find out after we move on to the next life that Michele all this time was actually God.
She was the Oracle.
Yeah, she is the Oracle.
Yeah.
100%. She had said to me, she was like, I saw how well you did. That's awesome. But clean it up. And she was like dead serious. She was like, clean it up because I know that you left a bunch out there. And in my mind, I did. Like, I played well, but I should have been 4 strokes better. And
I got chills when you said that.
So that totally just had me fired up going into second round. And it was just like laser focus. I'm not going to make mistakes. This will be a mistake-free round. And
God, that feels good.
It felt that way. And we'll get into this later because we're going to talk about it a bunch, I think. Yeah. But it was pretty amazing.
What was what was the round rating on that second round?
993, highest I've ever had.
That was the sound of Sean's dick hitting the table.
Yeah. 993.
I've never experienced in person a round that was played like that. It was unfathomable to watch. You knew that it was going to be exactly where he intended it to be the moment he let it go on every single hole. The other 4 people, we had 5 people on our card, second round, and the rest of us were just looking at each other like, yep, okay. Let's walk to the, like we had nothing to say. It was, we'll get into it later, but it was crazy.
I'm so happy for you. Mm-hmm. That is the best feeling.
Bro. It was super sick.
I can't wait for this conversation.
Yeah, that's gonna be great.
Yeah.
Sheila, are you fired up? You don't get a chance to jump on off.
I'll say something very fast. Don't worry.
Take your time.
Sean and Doc and I went to Lincoln Landing on Tuesday, and we figured out the layout for the putting championships.
Oh.
Yeah.
Big money.
Yeah.
Putting championships.
Is there still a chance to get into that, or what's the deal?
It hasn't gone live yet.
There's a 100% chance because it doesn't go live for about a month.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what's the date on that?
July 29th.
The date of the event is July 29th. Sign-ups go live on June 23rd.
Cool. I'm just going to check my calendar real quick.
Friday, June 23rd on discgolfscene.com.
Come on, Mike.
I couldn't remember the fake name.
Yeah. Oh, I'm free.
Yeah.
I want to play.
It's going to be huge.
Where is Lincoln Landing?
It is downtown Lockport, if you know where Public Landing Restaurant is, or if you're like coming into Lockport from the Joliet side, so the big bridge.
Yeah.
And when you're sitting there on the big bridge, it's on the left-hand side.
Oh, okay.
There's like a open green area and limestone blocks and stuff.
I can picture it now. Actually, I think I ate there once. How can you give us a preview, or like what is it specifically that you're fired up about?
Doing the layout, getting the ideas, because some of it's like open, so we have to get creative with assets and obstacles, which we plan on doing, and I'm not going to say anything yet. It brings in a lot of elements that are already there. I'm excited because we're bringing disc golf to downtown Lockport. So it's just for regular people to see what's going on. The I&M Canal is right there. A lot of people walk, bike, and let's bring disc golf to town. Let's patronize the businesses and just do a complete takeover.
I love that it is the closest thing that we have done to like what the world has seen dynamic discs do, and it's way smaller. I'm not trying to compare what we're doing to DDO or Glass Blown Open, but this is the idea of like, okay, not everybody's necessarily coming to Delwood Park to go, hey, what's that? Right. If we go to the busiest intersection in the town,
right,
and we have 18 baskets and 30 feather flags and
a total
tents,
of over 300 players,
324 players, and big banners and signs that say "Woohoo! Disc golf's cool," then I think we're going to make an impact, and that to me is the coolest part.
For sure,
I'm equally as fired up.
Yeah, I submitted the final plans to the city today. So we're just waiting to hear back that we can do everything we want to.
They gotta trust you guys by now. I mean,
she's being unbelievably humble. So what they asked for was like, hey, you could just draw it on a napkin with a crayon for all we care.
That's what
they want to know. What
right?
And Sheila, as Sheila does, put together this amazing 2-page PDF graphic Google image of Lincoln Landing, complete with a key of all the little icons that are on there for tee boxes and baskets and tents and porta potties and
color coordinated dice
breakdown of all the questions they would have had. Like it was, and she whipped it together in like the last maybe 24 hours. She's going to totally undersell that, but It's incredible and above and beyond what they would have ever expected. So she is anticipating, them getting back and going like, yeah, do whatever you want. Here's the key to the city. Yeah.
Thank you.
Trying.
Great job.
He can do it too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that was a good one.
Yeah, that
I
was
used to do
loud.
it a lot when I was a kid, but I
Yeah.
didn't know I could still do it. But yeah, it sounds like you deuced pretty hard.
Yeah, deuced it.
She's so excited.
That's great.
All right, real quick before we get out of fired up and move on to the next thing. Alex, you are asking for $1 million for 5% of your company. Why do you value Tailwinds at $20 million?
I told you I wasn't ready for this, but
Get it together.
I'm out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm out too.
Dude, I told my
Stuttering Stanley
You have
up there.
already seen how fried my brain is multiple times on this episode. And it's
Well,
not
I got to
happening.
answer this question for Alex. How can you really put a price tag on the connection with the people and the brand and the small business that is the driving force of the American dream? We're so tired of the corporate bullshit world. He wants to assist in making America great again. As you can see on his red MAGA hat. Alex, what are you doing?
And I gladly stand up next to you.
That was very good.
It's real to me, damn it.
Real to me, damn it. It's still real to me, damn it.
All of you. Wow. Jeez.
Well done, boys.
Let's move on to the rest of the episode.
Yeah.
I would, but there's something I have to say. One more thing.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
sorry, Ryan.
No,
But if I don't say it now, it'll never get said.
I think
because
this is a
it's-
record, though.
please.
Good.
Longest fired up. I love
Good.
it.
Yeah.
I played the Washington Park pop-up course in Chicago, and the Jackson Park pop-up course, that's where we had been playing before, was very, very cool. Nothing compared to the Washington Park pop-up course, and that is, I believe, that is where the Chicago Disc Golf course is going to happen. It was truly a amazing course. I did not know this park even existed. It felt like we were in a rural area.
You had it
in
on the
burbs.
story, right? You were talking about it because I know
Yeah.
I heard this conversation. When
The space is incredible. It's
Yeah.
perfect. You could have 36, 45 holes out there, and there's elevation changes, tons of trees.
Great.
The guy who designed it, Walter Resnick, crushed it. And Hyde Park Disc Golf is doing such a cool thing by putting courses in areas that me and lots of other people in Chicago didn't know existed.
Sick.
I bet my bottom dollar that that's where the real permanent course of Chicago is going to go. And I hope that there's another opportunity to play it soon. And if it comes back around, guys, play it. It's awesome.
Sick. We'll do.
That's it.
Cool.
Nice.
All right, that is a wrap on Fired Up. And now let's get into the Callahallander Rundown.
Absolutely, boys and girls. This Callahallander rundown is going to be called the You're Not Going to Hear From Me for 3 Months edition. So I have a couple of things to tell you, so listen up. The GJTS Putting Championships. This is one you are absolutely not going to want to miss. We are adding $5,000 to the purse across all divisions.
What?
Sheila, how stoked are you for this event?
Very stoked.
Very stoked.
Can you
heard
hear
it
that?
here first.
Yeah. Hear it in her voice.
So stoked.
It is
Yep.
going to be at Lincoln Landing in downtown Lockport on Saturday, July 29th. Think Hellwood, but outdoors and very classed up.
Less skeletons, hopefully.
Less
No
skeletons.
Not zero.
I mean,
Just
you never
like-
know.
You never know.
The chances are
Right.
almost zero.
We could have a skeleton.
Yeah.
Less girls puking hair.
Yeah, there you go.
Yes.
Ah, and dogs barking as you walk by. Don't get me started. It goes live on Friday, June 23rd at 7 p.m. on Alex.
DiscGolfScene.com.
Thank you, sir. The second thing I wanted to talk to you about tonight is Clash at the Canyon 7. This year, Clash is a B tier with more focus on the locals and the event being part of the GJTS, which is important to us.
Correct.
So don't be discouraged. Clash is still going to be fuego, so be there. A little teaser.
It'll be the A-tieriest B tier you've ever played.
Correct.
That is amen to that.
Can I ask a question about it?
Yes, sir.
About his eyeballs?
Is there an AM weekend and a pro weekend?
No.
No.
Okay.
There's one weekend. One little teaser I did want to, I said this to one of the MA1 players today. Shout out to Jake Avery, who I played with this morning. I did tell him that MA1 is going to be playing the XXL layout. And I think that might be the first time that MA1 is going to be playing XXL.
That sounds right.
I would have to double check with Steve Ratchin on that because he may have had them do it maybe like year 3. That's a possibility. I'll have to look into that. But it may be the first time. MA1 is definitely going to be playing XXL. So I'm excited for that teaser. That is it. That's all I had. 2 things. Putting Championships, Clash 7. All of these things unofficially brought to you by DiscGolfScene.com.
Come on.
Come on,
Pete.
Mike.
Oh, who said Mike?
I said Mike.
No, that's all right.
I thought we were all going to say Mike.
That would have felt good. I would have been good with that.
That's all right.
Topical.
That's a wrap on the calendar rundown, which means it's time for the nuts and bolts of this conversation, re-understanding the player experience. I've been dying to dive into this because you were talking about the difference it made to practice those putts at like 20 feet.
Yeah.
Max does that a lot in the backyard with, I've had baskets in the garage for
That's
forever.
because my boy is smart.
I never was practice putting until I started seeing him doing it. So I've been doing it, you know, for 5-10 minutes here and there, a couple times a day.
Yep.
I can't imagine standing there and doing it for an hour, but I can imagine how good you would get from doing that. Because even those little 5 and 10 minutes at 20 feet in the last event that I just played, so much more confident. Instead of getting in my head with every little putt, I was like, yeah, got that.
There are several aspects to that. And we see it every time we run a tournament. As sure as the day is long, someone will be putting, practice putting from 45 to 50 feet and maybe hitting the cage once, maybe getting lucky and draining 1 out of 10 and just over and over and over. And what is the percentage that you expect to make from 50 feet? I just don't go for things like that, right? But 20 footers are the ones that you're going to want and you're going to regret missing. So it does several things. One is you gain confidence by knowing that you're going to make those putts, right? And 2, when your drive or your upshot ends up 20 to 25 feet away, that is still okay.
Yeah.
You don't have to aim for bullseye. You don't have to aim to be under the basket on your drive or your upshot anymore. You've got the entire circle to work with, and you know that you're still going to make that putt and get that birdie instead of dreading not getting right up next to it and having to make a putt. So there's so many aspects to just making a 20-footer over and over again that I saw Sean do and just destroyed that round. And it made so much sense and it all clicked. Like, we make fun of those guys that are practicing those 45-footers. Like, seeing it in practice is an entirely different thing. So 20-footers, you should make 10 out of 10, 9 out of 10 of those. 50-footers, no, not so much. Don't practice those.
The thing that I have been oddly pairing with that, and this is like geeky, but I hope people can take something from it and utilize it if you aren't already, or maybe everybody is already doing this and I don't know. But when I am outside practicing those 20-footers, I think of them, like I try to get into the mental state of what if this was the one that mattered?
Yeah.
Like, I try to work myself mentally, like I am Mitch to myself in my head, to know that like I'm not only practicing it, but I'm doing it with as much organic jitters that I can create in my own head, which I do pretty well, by the way.
Sure.
And it helps kind of like have that muscle memory when your body feels a certain way, instead of, you know, thinking it's going to feel a certain way and it doesn't. And then you're also dealing with these emotions that are, you know, uncontrollable shaking that is totally real, even at silly C tier. And, you know, so.
There's a difference between throwing 4 putts from the same exact stance and not resetting and just going through the motions, and then giving yourself the real world scenario in your head.
It's a really important moment where that really makes all the world a difference. And it's where your upshot lands. Let's say you're like, I don't know, I think I'm like right at circle's edge. In that moment, if you haven't been practicing and you know you're the kind of person that misses a lot of those, or like you have a little thought in your head that's like, I hope I don't miss that putt, instead of I got that putt. Like, and once that thought is in your head, you can't shake it. And that's why once you get up there, you do miss a lot of those little 20, 25 footers because that thought, that one little seed.
Exclusively been the person you're talking about before maybe like, really going into this season, because it was last year when we decided kind of as a group of some of us, I mean, at least Ryan and I think we talked about it with Thor too, about I was the baby of the group and we're going to be playing MA40 in 2023 because Sean can now. So it's like, oh, let's see, type of thing. And I would get up to those. I'd be staring down that putt and going, oh, I'm not comfortable with that distance. So, I mean, just putting in the time in the practice basket being comfortable at 20 feet is what gave me the mental ability to take down that tournament last weekend. Period.
Totally.
I think traditionally when Sean and I have played competitive rounds, and I say competitive loosely because we don't normally, so it's for fun, but like we compete against each other because our skill levels are so close that it's fun to do that. He would generally be ahead of me at the beginning of the round. And then by the end, I don't know if it was his mental game or if it was just I get more comfortable as I play and he would get less comfortable with his putts by the end, but we'd end up tied because I would make a few up at the end and he would maybe miss a few putts or, just whatever it was. And so in that final round when we played, he started off super hot like he always does. And then it just never quit. It was just gas pedal to the floor the whole time. And I was like, holy shit, this is a different Sean. This is like...
Yeah, I have never been like that before. Like I've never had the confidence that I had on Sunday.
Does it make you hungry for more?
In a way that I have never had it. It was the funny thing.
The next morning he messaged me and he's like, hey, I just signed up for states. You're going to sign up, right? And I was like, it's 7:30, dog.
You said my legs are still sore.
Yeah, like I still can't feel my legs. Yeah. Give me a day. Right?
I don't know. I've never had this level of feeling like I want competition. In the beginning, when I was competing, say 2010 to 2016, just like I never felt like I had an established game. We were still doing that in those days. The game for me personally was being established at that time. So I never felt like, oh, I've got this, or do I, or don't I? It was like, I'm just going to throw this thing and hope for the best.
This is what we do.
You've talked about that a lot. Like your game is like, I'm just going to go out and enjoy myself.
Yeah. This is the first time experiencing it. So it's like,
well, that's the irony
again, and it's pretty sweet.
Yeah. That's the irony is you used to say, I'm just going to get out and enjoy this, but I don't think you could have to the level that we are now without going through what we had and running all these tournaments and now going back to play it and appreciate it and now truly enjoy it and then playing competitively again.
Finding the new ways to enjoy it.
Yeah.
Through the ways of not enjoying it. Totally.
Right. Yeah. But also we see that with, I think gets more to the point of the podcast is the attitudes and the methods and all the competitive sides to all the people that we always see and watch play. We were kind of in the middle of it this time, and it brought a little bit of a different aspect for me, seeing how much I think we were not taking it for granted, and everyone else, it seemed like they were just going through the motions because they maybe do it so much or maybe take it too seriously.
Yeah.
And that was kind of a bummer for me in some points, like people throwing bags and, getting super mad when they missed that 45-footer and like stuff like that, hey man, take a step back and look at what you're doing on this Sunday afternoon, know? And I don't know, that seeing us in the middle of it and watching the competitive side brought a different, more shit has come to light, man.
Definitely more shit has come to light.
I want to talk about, Sheila set it up, finding the balance between being a TD and being a competitive player. But before we go to that, the pressure that you're feeling right now, like the pressure you were feeling to win, right, on that day, are you thinking about tournaments right now what I think about a lot is like, I just want to sign up for the tournament and I want to play well. I don't ever think about the series or like, what is this win actually going to mean? Are you thinking at all about like, now you've done 2 smooth series events. Are you thinking bigger picture competition? Like if I can play well here and I can play well at the next smooth, like it's going to really mean something. What does it mean to you to be getting more competitive?
I'm definitely not thinking about it in terms of a bigger picture. It just right now I'm like, okay, newfound love the group of guys that I get to do it with. As Ryan mentioned, we played with Tim Potter, Vern Manning, James Outwine. And I also think that as Ryan and I talk about doing this stuff more, I think there's other guys that are going to get kind of like amped about it in that specific division, I guess, because there's a bunch of us and it's just, I don't know, it just feels a little bit different. Maybe it's because it's new and I've never experienced it before, but doing MA40 as opposed to like MA 2 just kind of felt like this larger pool of who could be any random set of 30 dudes from 5,000, right?
Yeah.
And MA40 is a growing division, but it's a bunch of the same dudes. And there's a lot of like, side jabs and fun. I mean, Vern has been riding me for a long time. So like, we play together. And it was great. I played with him again at Tuesday Night League, Handicap League at Delwood. It was awesome. So it's just now this like back and forth banter with Vern. So like, for me, I'm not looking at like any big picture stuff.
The pressure is just like social. Like I want to
have the respect of the homies. That's all it's ever been for me. All it's ever been.
Totally get that.
I think there's that aspect. And I think it's not, everybody says, I just want to play better than I did last time. But for me, it's more, I want to play to the ability that I think I can, but never really had before. Like, I feel like I have the ability to play, 950 rated golf, but I never do because we never practice and we never compete. It's not there. So maybe you could say, no, I can't compete at that level because I don't. But I feel like I have the skill to be able to do that. We just never play. And after playing this weekend, obviously I can see that happening, whether we will or not. Just, I want to know that I have the ability to be at that level.
Right.
And it's not beating MA40 guys or, like I love the shit talk and I love playing against them. And that's the only reason why I played as well as I did is because those guys were there and you were there. And we had such a good time competing against each other and shit talking for fun. I want to know that level is there for me to achieve.
I think I'm trying to get in the headspace of the guys who really beat themselves up when things don't go well. They didn't have the round they wanted to. And they're like, they can't do what you said, like just step back and go like, I got to play disc golf today. What do you think what is the pressure they're putting on themselves?
There were 2 classes of disc golfers that we were specifically talking about. The guys that play 8 to 10 rounds a week and the guys that play once every 2 weeks. And we see them both bitch and complain about how they didn't play as well as they thought. And I guess the same things can be said for both, but if you're playing 10 rounds a week and you're not as good as you thought, then something's wrong mentally, right? Because maybe you're not as good as you think you can be. If you play 10 rounds a week, 8 rounds a week, and you're not getting to that level, then you're not going to. I don't know what more you could do other than step back and not play 10 rounds a week, which is what we said, like maybe stay at home one day and take care of life, take a break. Maybe take a lesson. So that other
boxes are checked so that when you play,
totally.
Oh my God.
The rental game is significantly better. Because, I mean, we never talk about, when we talk about a mental game inside of disc golf, we're never talking about the things outside of disc golf that transfer over. Like we're only talking about, man, I'm not feeling my putters right now.
Right.
No, you're not feeling some other
so
aspect of
much stuff that carries
maybe
over.
Like that car payment isn't going to make itself this month and you're out there on hole 17 and you shank a drive and that's why, that kind of thing really plays a part. And a lot of these guys we know well enough to know that maybe a day away is what you need. Right?
Absolutely. I mean, we've had those exact conversations with people. It's kind of like the David Cope response of less is more. Like none. You need none disc golf actually.
Yeah.
You need to just go home and relax and not think about disc golf for 48 hours and reset. Come back to it because I gotta say your boy beat up on them guys this past weekend and I get in.
They're talking like Randy Macho Man said.
One round every 10 to 14 days.
The cream.
I'm sorry. Like I did put in some practice.
I am the cream in the World Wrestling Federation. And there is no doubt about it.
But I'm just saying, I mean, absolutely no disrespect, but I don't play that much. But I know what I'm capable of, and I was in a clear mindset to be able to execute.
I think that's a huge part. But then there's the other guys that play once every couple of weeks or just, chuck around when they can, and then they sign up for MA2, and then they're 24th out of 30, and they're also throwing their bags and like, I'm never signing up for, I'm quitting disc golf. And well, you can't do that either.
Right.
You can't expect to achieve the level of disc golf that you think you want or you think you're entitled to without putting the work in.
Right.
So we see that all the time. So it's just about setting your expectations.
Yeah.
Maybe write them down if that helps. But like, what is your expectation and what do you think you deserve based on what you've done up to this point?
Right. Totally. And being able to adjust on the fly because, I counted up out of 36 holes, there were 8 inside the circle putts that I missed.
Damn. Still shot almost 1,000 rated. Okay, so you brought up balance. That's a good segue. And it's kind of organically happening. Everybody's got full-time, well, most people have full-time jobs and they're trying to play, whether casually or competitively, but
Right.
you and actually everybody at this table has, I would say, a very full life. Like, you keep yourself moving. You're doing a lot of stuff. So getting those casual rounds and even finding time to practice is tough. Talk about the balance between all the other stuff you're doing and the hunger you have to play more, and like you want to, you've got a drive to play more events and you want to be more competitive. I imagine your answer is going to be pretty simple, but how do you
Sheila and I
that?
were talking about this the other night after Sunday. It was maybe Monday, and because that's the next day that comes after Sunday.
Because Sunday you couldn't breathe at all.
No, I could not. No brothing.
No brothing.
No brothing.
I stopped breathing.
For the last 6 years, I was pretty steadily competing from 2010 to 2016. From 16 through all the way through 2022, it was full-time Delwood disc golf. The shop is the focus. Me competing is not, it wasn't even a thought. It wasn't like man, I wish I could be. It was like, I am happy with the lane that I am in. And I wasn't making it a priority, kind of with the mentality of, I don't think that I can make this a priority.
Yeah.
But when we, like I mentioned earlier, started talking about the idea that, hey, we're all doing it, guys. We're all going to jump off the bridge. That really motivated me to, for that first event this year, make it a priority. And then once I was at that tournament at Highland, the first Smooth Series event, I was like, oh my God, this feeling that I have right now is something I'm going to continue to chase until it goes away again. Because it's totally organic. The excitement level is I totally have a re-understanding of the jitters that I see from the players now. I totally get it. I totally get it. And not that I didn't know, but I needed to re-experience it.
You need to revisit that, yeah.
We were talking to Sean between rounds on Sunday, and I didn't really get that when we were talking about it. I got it towards the end of the first round a little bit, but then second round, about halfway through, if you were to have handed me a can of Coke, it would have been like you put a Mentos in it, because I would have been shaking so hard, because I just got, oh my God, we're in it, which is what I explained to you. We're in it to the point where we're competitive, and now this is like a thing where, okay, we're shooting well enough to be towards the top of this. I'm going to throw up in my mouth.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it was real, and I haven't felt that in a long time.
Yeah.
Very long time.
Seeing you in it also is what propelled me, because I buzz off of the people around me. I'm just that type of personality that if you're hyped, where are we going, dog? Let's go. And so for Ryan, who is at a steady 4.5 out of 10,
yeah,
all day, every day, to see him at a 9 is like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Let's go, dude. All right. Yeah, we are in it. This is it, man. This is real. So seeing you like that was what totally propelled it. Fuel for sure.
I think it's interesting, and this is like a life thing. It's not just a disc golf thing, but the 6 years you spent hustling for Delwood, and I know that's never going to go away, but that was your top priority. And I think if you would have tried to go out and compete and put time in playing casual rounds and practicing, while in the back of your mind you would know, I'm not doing the thing I know I should be doing. The priority,
right. It would be that bad mental.
You would not be able to
situation where I would, absolutely, 100%.
If you're not taking care of
100%.
the things you're supposed to be taking care of, how are you going to enjoy the stuff you want to enjoy?
Right.
Well, just like Sean said, that his play and just being in it propelled him to want to do it again. Mine goes further back. Competing and having that feeling motivates me to go back to square one Monday morning, sitting down at my computer and then printing first thing is okay, I have a newfound drive to get all of this shit done way faster and better so that I can do that again.
Yep.
It's not just let me sign up for the next tournament. It's let me get all of this shit squared away faster so that I can get this tournament into view. I don't feel like a lot of people have that. Skipping steps, right? Tournament to tournament instead of tournament to, there's a week in between weekends that I need to handle. That's always my first thing, is get all my shit done so I can, all work and then play. But I enjoy it because I love what I do. But that just drove me to get down in the shop, Let's go. Let's get all this shit done. Let's knock it out.
That is more power to all the people who can run an event and play in it and play well.
Yeah.
That's amazing to me. We have the showdown coming up in 2 weeks, and I was signed up to play in that originally, and I was going to run the event, and it just clicked for me a couple of weeks back. If I'm trying to play, I'm either like the event is not going to be as smooth, or I'm going to play worse because I'm going to be thinking about the event. Let me make the event good, focus on running the event so I can enjoy the day.
Right.
If I'm trying to do both things are going to suffer.
Yeah.
And it's really just a life thing. But in talking about the balance between event organizers and people who are trying to play, I think you kind of have to be all in on whatever the thing is you're doing.
Yeah. I mean, I got to say with that, a shout out to Steve Ratchin for putting on the Smooth Series. Because if not for him doing that and not playing and choosing to do all these dates and do these things, we wouldn't have had the opportunity to, for the exact same reason. I'm not looking at New Lenox Open and going, yeah, baby. That's work and there's play and it's two very different things.
Yeah.
So both sides of it are totally refueled.
I couldn't imagine, let's say New Lenox, for example, going over there, setting it all up, running it for a bit, and then picking up the bag and going and playing and then coming back and saying, how are things going, guys?
Yeah.
Just got back.
Yeah.
You would play like
no
ass,
way.
and
Not a chance.
Yeah.
Right.
Both things would suffer.
I learned a lesson. Never half-ass two things. Whole-ass one thing.
If Steve wasn't doing it the way he's doing it, he wouldn't be running such a good series.
Right.
That would make you want to keep playing more. Like,
totally.
if he was half-assing it,
yeah,
you would be like,
and he was super, as I expected him to be, super hyped when
of course
I won, made it feel special. Like, presentation, gave me a trophy. It was very cute and nerdy, and I loved every moment of it.
It was very funny. Everybody was like, what are you going to do with funny money? You were like,
what are you going to do?
Buy discs for myself from Steve Ratchin's sick collection that's back there under those tents. Like,
he does have some
I
gems.
mean, and it was like 105 in funny money. I got like 5 discs or something like that. All sick stuff that, like, who knows if it'll make the bag, but
yeah.
I love this shit. Like, I don't know. I'm like everybody else who comes in the shop, the whole, like, I have too many discs at home. Like, yeah, come on, we all do. But I love it. I was excited to get those discs that maybe I'll throw them in the bag at some point.
Yeah, but you earned them. It's different.
Yeah, those are special. I have them in a stack still upstairs,
Yeah.
By the Heiser racks. And like,
I could have
fun.
purchased a quick stick from you for the last however many years you've had them, and I've never had one. I just got one as a player pack, and I have messed around with that in the backyard for a total of probably an hour.
Right. You still paid for it, but in a different way.
But
And
I
it's special.
got it as a player pack. I haven't gotten a
exactly.
player pack in so long. Like, it's so stupid, but it's part of the deal. Like, it's part of the excitement.
I'm going to one-up you with the retriever story.
Okay.
Vern Manning, who I mentioned I played with on Tuesday, he did not get a player pack, so I donated mine to Vern Manning.
Oh, what a guy. Well, you already have one in your bag.
Yeah.
I don't, so
He was stoked.
now I do.
Because his broke during the round. So he got hooked up.
Let's talk about post-round bad beats. Listening to people, recapping their rounds. The fact that you may or may not have been guilty of this recently.
100%. As we've been mentioning, both sides of the table are refueled because I 100%, not like I didn't rush over to Steve and go, oh man, but...
Okay, hole one.
Yeah.
Here's what I did.
But for probably a good 10 to 14 days after that Smooth Series number 1, there were 3 holes that I took double bogeys on that I talked about, and they were replaying over and over in my head. And it was rough. So like I fully understand the coming back to Tournament Central again. Not that I didn't. I haven't forgotten, but to have been that guy myself and then hearing myself and going, oh shit.
It's hard not to do it, right?
Oh my God, it's happening.
Yeah. Okay, what about the social media recaps on tournament rounds? Basically not beating yourself up too much, and the fact that disc golf should really be therapy and not stressful.
I had several people ask how we were feeling in the moment when it was coming down to the wire. And the answer for us is we weren't, because we don't look at the scores. And we made it a point for the card not to tell us, and we knew they were all looking. I don't like knowing what my total score is just because it's a weird thing for me, and I guess it doesn't get in my head. I just don't care. Like when I'm done with hole 8, I forget about hole 8. We're on to hole 9. And by the end of the round, I can't tell you how well I did. I have a feeling, but I can't tell you what my score is. I don't care about that. I want to know in my heart if I feel like I played well, and then my score is usually better than I think. And then I'm always like, oh, okay, that's great. And I don't know why Sean does it or doesn't look at the scores, but I have a feeling it's similar, right?
Very much the same thing,
When we got down to the last couple of holes, everybody on our card was looking and knew how it was going. And I didn't want to know, and he didn't want to know. So when people are asking us like, hey, down to the wire, how did you feel? We didn't, because we didn't know.
Right.
And everyone's like, oh, I can't do that. I have to look at the live scoring the whole time.
I was doing the live scoring, and there's a setting to where you could not see what your score is. I prefer to keep score because then I just know it's being done. I get into a repetitive motion with it. No one has to worry about it if I'm taking care of it. I enjoy that sensation.
Yeah.
I didn't want to know, had no interest.
Yeah.
I was worried about me punching in the numbers correctly and making sure the score for that hole was accurate. But swiping and not having another thought about it.
But maybe that's something that people should take into consideration. Maybe if you're constantly looking at the live scoring and, oh, I'm an 8th, but if I shoot, 2 birds in a row, I can maybe make the podium. Yeah. Maybe don't do that. Maybe don't do that.
Definitely don't do it.
Right, because you don't know in the moment what other people are doing either.
Yeah, you can't control the other scores.
You talked about that. All the things that need to come into alignment for everybody's scores to shake out the way they do.
Yeah.
There's so many different outcomes.
So many. It's rolling dice every single time.
And you can't control them all.
Yeah, right. And then in the moment that you have that secondary thought of the primary thought, boom, you're out of it.
Right.
Totally.
Boom, you're out of the zone. You're totally not focused.
Right.
And you're falling apart because you're like 3 levels deep into something you don't even need to be worrying about.
That you can't control.
That you absolutely cannot control. So you have to just shut that part of your brain off. Like I said, I kept score. Also, I had this conversation with Cardmates first round. I always talk about it. I don't get why people have this ooh, keeping score, this is the worst. I don't understand that mentality. There is 0 things wrong with having a phone in your hand, entering 4 numbers, swiping, making the screen go black again, and putting it back in your bag or your pocket. I had my phone in my pocket the entire time.
Yeah. I think keeping score on your phone is a hell of a lot easier and less annoying than doing it on paper. I don't know why, but if I have to keep score and it's on paper, I am one of those guys that's like, I'm not going to say it because I don't want to be that guy, but in my mind, I'm like, damn it. But on my phone, PDJ Live, I volunteer for it, and it's fine. Easy. Yeah. I am different in that I like towards the end of the round to see kind of where I'm at. I like to know if I'm in it, and I like the pressure of I got to get this one and that one, and I might have a chance here. It does take me out of it to an extent, but sometimes that pressure makes me play better, or it makes me make decisions that are smarter. I shouldn't run this because I might give up a stroke that I should be giving up.
It's player to player specific, but I think if that is part of your deal and you're putting stress on yourself, then if I only birdie these 2 holes, then I could be in it again. And then you shoot that first hole and kind of shank your drive a little bit. Then all of a sudden you've told yourself, I am out of it. And you have no idea whether you're out of it or not. That whole aspect of the game, I don't want to touch any of that. That's not for me.
I see both sides.
So the inverse of what you're talking about, I think, is a conversation that I had with James Lautwine on Tuesday night at Handicap League. He said, you remember that putt that you had second round, hole 4, where you were close enough to attack and you didn't? And I said, yeah, I laid up from probably circle's edge on hole 4, the elevated basket. Shout out to Elevated Baskets, David Cope.
Here's the thing, Sean. The reason I looked at you is because it is an elevated basket.
He said, I was really surprised. He said, that was your 1,000 rated round. And I was like, wasn't even thinking about it like that.
Yeah, that was
wasn't even thinking about it.
That was then my 975 because I would have missed a comebacker. Yeah.
I was never thinking about the thing I could have had. I was only thinking about the things that might happen if this doesn't go right.
It's smart decisions.
I laid up from circle's edge on a hole that I probably could have attacked, and the putter was feeling good. But I happily laid up and took a 3, and 2 other people on the card, including James, got 2s. And that was one of the holes that I started to recall when we were sitting on the bench for our final hole. As everybody, we made it through 35 holes of the tournament, right? Without talking about the scores. And then these start talking about the scores. And I'm just getting I'm inching further and further on the bench away from them. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Just be cool, man, because I know I'm playing good. And I don't want to know. And then in that moment, as soon as my focus was taken away from just being in it and laser, I started doing math, and I was thinking about like the holes where James got a 2, because I knew that, talking about feelings, the feeling that I had was James Loutwine was on my ass. In that moment, all of a sudden, that was like the body language of just the group overall. Sure. And I'm thinking going into my very last throw that, hey, we all know that there's a 320-foot hole that we've taken 6s on because we got stupid, because we got out of the groove.
Hole 11 at Shadow.
Right?
Yeah.
Right. So I'm thinking like, he's on my ass and we're tied. And now the pressure's really on in this drive that on a hole that I don't really percentage-wise perform well. Like I probably have an average of 3.5. Luckily, I hit the middle of the fairway and just got to where I wanted to be. And then I threw my upshot and put it about 8 feet away. And the ultimate moment in the tournament happened, which is like the pinnacle for me. And I will never forget this.
Yeah.
Tim Potter walked up from behind me and I had felt a little bit of relief, like, oh, at least that's a tap in and I can 3 and then we'll see how this shakes out. Tim Potter walked up from behind me, gives me like a side hug, and he says, hey, Sean, you see that 8-footer up there that you have? And I said, yeah, Tim. And he goes, you could miss that 3 times and still win the tournament. So go bang your putt and let's do this. And it was like, I could have melted in that moment. I was like, that just like started the whole thing for me and just, it was very cool.
I think it is pretty player dependent. So I didn't have a 1,000 rated round or near 1,000 rated round, but at the Washington Park tournament recently, I saw Mike Fierke was the only person signed up for MPO.
Yes.
So I was like, I might be able to beat Mike. I might be able to win an MPO event. So I signed up for MPO. We were neck and neck the whole time. I actually jumped out in front of him in the beginning and I was like, you're doing it, Peter.
Gotta believe, dude.
But I checked the scores, with maybe 6 or 7 holes to go. And he had, worked his way back. He was actually beating me by 3. Every shot at that point, I'm like doing all the math and like hoping he does this and hoping I do that. And I was really enjoying, like every one of those shots for the rest of the round became way more intense for me in a very fun way. Like it came down to the last hole where he almost threw OB and I was down by 1 at this point. And I was like, oh my God, he just went OB. Like I'm laid up for my deuce. I'm going to do this. We're going to go to overtime.
Yeah.
So I got to enjoy that moment 10 times more because I knew it was going. And Mike didn't know. He didn't realize how close it was because he wasn't paying attention to the score.
Yeah.
And he had what I thought was ice in his veins when he drained his putt from he saved it from going to overtime. He didn't even realize how close we were. And that's good for him. But for me, that hole and each of the shots that led up to it were like so much more intense because I knew what was going on, what was riding on it. And I like it that way.
I think it's different from seeing it on your card and playing with it versus just looking at numbers, because you can't see the guy on the chase card. All of a sudden you see a 4 pop up and you don't know how that went. You don't know, you have no idea what's going to happen on the next hole either. And you can't match his drive when you're 2 holes ahead of him or whatever it is. It's just different, but having it on your card and knowing that you've got to chase that guy and you are ahead of him. Oh yeah, absolutely.
I want to know.
I would have puked. Yeah.
I want to know, baby, for sure.
Yeah.
Do you guys feel like there's anything else that you really want to talk about on the competitive side of things? Because I know that we had at least one other topic we wanted to get to before we get to some of the other fun stuff.
I've got one other suggestion for the listeners and people that compete. My favorite thing, and I feel like I still exhibited this on Sunday, if you are not the hype man on your card, do not go. Like, don't even be there. It is so integral to the good time you're about to have that if everybody goes into it with that mentality, it is a 100% guarantee you're going to have a good time. And play well. Be the hype man. I'm not saying you got to be hugging on people every time, but like when you see somebody struggling, hype them up. When they're playing well, like it makes me feel so good and play so much better when I am making other people feel good when they play well. I'm a gas up guy. That's just me.
I think sincerity is an important piece there.
Yeah.
I played not so long ago where somebody I was playing with was like, no matter what anybody threw, they were like, bro, like, yes. And like, oh my God, they were acting like everything that happened was so great. And it was like, bro, it was a mediocre shot. Chill out. Like, I'm not playing well, and that was not that good of a shot.
Yeah.
I appreciate what you're trying to do, but it's getting annoying at this point. So I don't want to ever say don't be the hype man.
Yeah.
But there's also
it's got to be genuine.
There's a way you can cross a line.
I think when you
gotta be genuine.
We've
like
all experienced that guy. Like when they start getting into the nitty gritty details of what just transpired. Like I don't need a play by play.
on that mediocre
like
shot.
just give me like attaboy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
that's what I'm talking about
Yeah.
is like, I like to just give encouraging little
Sincerity is
yes.
Yeah,
And I think that goes a long way
Yeah.
because we have that many players come to Tournament Central and say, oh, so-and-so this and so-and-so that. Well, did you try to do anything progressive about it? Or you play with the guy every single weekend, you know, like what, at least make that attempt. That's all I'm requesting.
Yeah.
That's reasonable.
It feels really good to do that for other people,
Yeah.
and it comes back tenfold.
All the guys I played with this past weekend, we could have been playing for $100,000, and I would have been just as stoked for any one of them to win if we were all playing as well as we did.
Right.
That's all.
I try to keep that mentality. I want to actually root, even if the person, like when Mike was making those shots that I was like, he's going to beat me if he makes this, I was still like, you got this, bro. Like, I don't want to root for somebody to do poorly. I always want to root for the people I'm playing with to do well.
Yeah.
Because that's good vibes for everybody.
Totally.
It's killing me that Jason hasn't spoken since we got into nuts and bolts.
He's just
it's
fiddling
been
with the
killing me
fireball.
this
Just
whole time.
making noise with his empty fireball bottle.
Earlier this week, I was on a phone call with one of the salespeople that I work with in my 9 to 5. And this guy is just talking and talking and talking. And I was like trying to say things like, oh yeah. And the guy would just not stop talking and kept talking over me. And I was like, God damn, dude, let me get a word in edgewise for like 4 or 5 minutes. And it was at that point I realized I had accidentally bumped the mute button on my phone and he wasn't hearing anything that I was trying to interject with. And
He was probably
feel
like, I wish this guy would chime in.
Yeah, I know. He was probably, he just kept rambling because I wasn't saying anything.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's what happened tonight, but in the best way. In the best way possible, because I know I said at the beginning of the episode I had questions and stuff, blah blah. For me, being here, part of why I enjoy it is what I just saw. Is like the passion that you guys have about this, and just being around 3 people that enjoy talking about it as much as you do was enough for me. So I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna let these ramble on, because it is ramble on is worth listening to. So that's why I did that.
It's kind of nice. I like that.
Thanks, Doug.
Well, I think there was one other cool topic that Sheila had put on the docket, and it's everyone's summer plans. And that's something that you can chime in on, and you can chime in on. So we're heading into this break. Who's got? Let's have you lead the charge. What do you got cooking up for the summer?
Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom. Can I check that again? No, Christ,
That's it.
What?
Keep it that way.
Did you just say?
I'm drinking a lot of Fireball while you guys were
What was that?
Mark.
What was that?
The Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom was what I tried to say.
Ah, yes.
Is my summer plan.
Mm-hmm.
So all this time,
You know how many times you've said that you're not a gamer, and I'm like, bro, you're a gamer.
but
I
here's
don't
the
know,
thing.
like you're.
I'm very specific in my
gamer,
gaming. I don't own a Switch. I still have not purchased
Wow.
one.
That game is going to be a real
because-
bummer for you.
Yeah, well, yeah. Because there hasn't been a game that was the reason for me to get one yet. So like, I feel like a gamer is sitting outside of GameStop on launch day at 8 a.m. the previous morning waiting for that new console. I would never do that in a million years.
I think you're conflating gamer with virgin.
Yeah, okay, maybe.
Hey-o.
Maybe. For this year, most years, but this year, my birthday and Father's Day are just within 48 hours of each other. So I've already said, it's one of them is a Switch and the other one is Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom.
Yeah. I will tell you, I bought the Switch because of Breath of the Wild.
Same.
And
I had a Wii U.
Right,
And it was
okay.
like the last big title on the Wii U.
oh,
So I
okay.
just played it on that.
Great. Phenomenal game.
Yeah, I loved it.
Just got Tears of the Kingdom, as did Sheila.
Yep.
And Sean and Sheila and I have a chat that is, we used to call the think tank.
a group chat on our
A
phones.
group chat. But I just changed it to the Zelda fan club and Sean.
Yeah.
It was very funny
And
is very accurate.
Yeah. That game is mind-blowing. I can't even begin to explain the detail and the depth, and every single tiny little thing about that game is just overwhelming.
It's so much fun.
It's overwhelming. Like every time I start the game up to continue, I don't know what I could possibly do. Like I'm just wandering in circles looking for stuff.
That's how I felt when I played Breath of the Wild.
And
it was just so much fun.
Yeah, you can
just drop in and you're like, well, I'm going to go in this direction and see
and eventually there's,
Yeah.
there are quests that you go on and you beat the game, but like you could never do that and spend 1,000 hours on this game and never see two things twice.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable. So I can't, I'm excited for you so that we can talk about it.
Yeah, I can't.
That's what I do when Sean is practice putting outside. I'm like, hoo, that means I get to go play Zelda.
Yeah. There's no party that's like, I want to check it out. I'm curious.
I'll go too hard.
Oh, he went real hard on Minecraft before.
I'll go too hard. I know my limits.
You went hard on Minecraft?
For a little while there.
Whoa.
Mining those diamonds, baby.
But like creator mode, not like the game.
I've never played. I don't know the
yeah.
differences, but I think I could fall into a similar trap. Maybe that's why I haven't, but I don't know. I'm very surprised to hear that you had a Minecraft phase.
Yeah. It's also a game
short-lived, but it was deep.
It was like 11 years ago. But.
Yeah. Minecraft is similar with Zelda in a way that you can jump in and play for 15 minutes and then just set it down.
Totally.
And then pick it back up later.
Mm-hmm.
There isn't like 2-hour-long campaigns and you're not playing online and shooting people up and, stuff like that. Like you can simply pick it up, walk, find some funny thing, and then set it down and not play for an entire day and then come back to it and just continue. It's great.
Yeah.
It's the ultimate, I need a brain break.
Right.
Let me go find a shrine really quick and then
So I've listened to multiple gaming podcasts that have covered the game.
But you're not a gamer.
And I'm
got him.
But have you guys figured out that your horses from Breath of the Wild are in Tears of the Kingdom?
I've read that. I haven't seen one yet.
Yeah.
No.
Any horses that you put in a stable retrieves that save data and you can get them back. Yeah.
Oh,
I think I named the horse the same thing though. So then what happens?
So you got to care more.
So there's
I
two
thought
Umis.
you loved
There's
this
two
game.
Oh, Umis.
You named it Umi?
Yeah.
Oh.
He's going to cry.
All right. On that note, Sheila, I'm going to pass it to you. Summer plans.
Summer plans.
Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild.
So like Jason, I'm also a Gemini. My birthday's coming up. And I'm excited because we're taking a staycation. Boys are going to cover the shop. We're taking 4 days off.
Ooh.
And whatever happens, happens.
No plans?
This is my toxic trait.
What happens at Callahan Acres stays at Callahan Acres.
That's right.
Leading up to my birthday, I'm like, no, I'm good. I don't want to do anything. I just want to chill. And then like the night before, I'm like, we should have a party.
Yeah. Welcome to my life.
Yeah. So I don't know.
You're just gonna see what happens.
Kayaking, tubing, bonfire, something will happen.
Sweet.
Yeah.
If you end up doing like a river float type thing, ping me.
Okay. Okay.
That is a tradition.
It's one of my favorite things.
When is your birthday?
June 8th, and it's a big one.
Oh, is it?
Mm-hmm.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Wait a second. Did you ever have a competitive disc golf phase?
I have competed. I do not like it.
Oh, okay then.
I'm
not going to ask the second part of this question then.
I mean, like the last tournament I played was Feather Frenzy 2019.
Oh, wow.
I believe. And I was doing really well. And then everybody on my card was like, you should be playing up. You're better than you said you were. Trying to be nice. But then I took an 8 on hole 6 and it was over. I'm like, thanks, guys.
Never played again.
Never played. No, I played a flex start. But disc golf for me is more casual. It's like a relaxing thing. I don't want to stress myself out over it because I stress myself out over everything.
Plenty other things.
I don't need another thing.
Mm-hmm.
It needs to be relaxing.
On the birthday river float thing, that's like a Liz tradition. We've done that on her birthday like 3 different years now, and she wants to do it again this year. So
Nice.
I will.
We do the dupage.
We go to.
I did it. What, was it last year?
Winamac, Indiana.
I think so, yeah.
Okay.
I
We
think
did it
it's
last year, yeah.
I don't remember what it's called, but it's like a 3-ish hour float.
Yeah.
Edibles, drinks,
Yeah.
music.
I thought for sure you were going to want to go camping for your birthday or something like that. And then we could do
I don't know, Sean. I'm going to be 40. That's too much work.
Camping is too much work?
Yeah, because I'm the one that sets up the tent. I got to do all this stuff. You're out playing disc golf.
Damn.
What?
The face he's giving me. It's out of control
It is.
issues, not anything other than that. But
She's like, tuck
Also-
your dick between your legs, you
You
little
know-
bitch.
you don't
I'm
like
going to set up the tent.
it takes a lot of work for us to do anything other than staying at home. We have to get our pets taken care of.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
It's a whole lining up of
That
things.
is true.
We plan things constantly
Also,
for work.
I feel
so
like if
why
you
do I want
guys-
to plan something again?
Yeah.
I just wanted to hear that on record. Thank you.
I feel like if you guys went camping, you would do the same thing that Teresa and I would do, where you would pack so much stuff just in case.
Yeah.
Like, oh, we're gonna go camping for a night. Okay,
That
well, we
drives me
need a
crazy.
case of 24 brats.
Right.
And we need
Yeah.
3 cases of water, and until it's to the point where it's too much.
Yep.
Where you could have just packed
Call
a
that
lunch.
the Jason Callahan approach.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm the exact opposite.
No, the last time we went camping, he went to the, what is it, IGA, and bought full normal size ketchup, mustard, relish, like not even like, and then at the end, he was like, just take it. I don't want it. I'm like, you just bought all this shit. Take it home. I have some at home. Then why didn't you bring that stuff?
He's speechless.
Crazy to me.
He's speechless.
I think
Condiment
I'm on
crazy.
the same
This is
page
an
as
awful
Jason.
situation right
I'm
now.
on the same page as you because why pack those things? You
Buy
are-
new
like,
and then waste?
Well, somebody else will make use of it.
Yeah, see?
Fucking bottle of
Hand
ketchup's
it off.
$2. Just
Right.
go spend
the seminaries.
There's
are
a
going
small store in
camping.
town that'll have it for $2. Yeah, I'm just gonna buy that. And if nobody
Right.
uses it, I'm out $2. I didn't buy the $14 bottle of ketchup and throw it away.
You didn't have to make a big dumbass list before you left. You just grab the basics and figure it out when you're
It's
there.
because I brought zero shit.
Right.
I'm not an overpacker. I'm an underpacker.
Right.
I'll figure it.
Yeah, that is.
I
I
can
could
fit
also
everything
yeah.
for a weekend in a backpack, tent included.
Same.
Like,
Tent included.
yeah.
We're,
you just need one pair of underwear. You wear them 2 days in a row. You flip them inside out. You get another 2 days out of it. Like,
Amen.
I know how to.
Amen, brother.
I know how to do that.
If it was up to me when we went camping, I would bring a tarp for the ground, a tarp for a roof, a sleeping bag, maybe stuff to start a fire.
And that's all you need. And then
Hot
you get
dogs,
the rest
maybe?
of the shit there.
Yeah. And
We,
if you don't have certain comforts while you're there, guess what? You forget about it because you don't have it. Who cares?
Part of camping.
I want to be on the simplest shit when I'm camping.
Yeah.
So we're going this weekend up to the camp that I always talk about.
Mm-hmm.
They're doing family camp this weekend. And my family is on a group chat that is destroying my soul every day because the group chat is blowing up like, I'm bringing this. I'm bringing this. Who's bringing this? Dude.
Yeah.
I'm bringing nothing. And if I need it when I'm there, I'll probably figure out some other option.
Yeah. Or you didn't need it.
Please, like, I don't want to pack a full ass car and then go camping. I want to take the least stuff possible and then actually chill when I'm there. I don't want to be unpacking, packing things up. Simple.
Right.
Camping is supposed to be simple.
Because then you spend all that time packing and unpacking, and it's like that eats into the trip.
Dude,
Yeah.
why do you want to just take your normal life and then move it to the woods? Like, just
Have the experience. Yeah.
No, we do not need a picnic table cover. Like, we don't need a tablecloth. We do not need multiple pairs of shoes. Like, we don't like.
Yeah.
Anyways, it's gonna be a great weekend. Super stoked. I genuinely am super
Yes.
stoked. I'm
Yes,
just
yes,
like,
yes.
y'all can bring all the things, and I'll enjoy your things when you bring them. I'm just not gonna be the one bringing all the things.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
So on that note, Sheila, pass the talking stick to Alex so we can talk about what he's doing.
What are
this summer.
you excited about this summer?
I haven't really made any big plans. We have a couple of things, I guess, coming up. Probably the thing I'm most excited about, though, is Idlewild. Now that we're all going as a group, are we going to record again before that trip if we end up doing it
No idea.
I think it would be
Not-
a great episode to start.
after Idlewild?
Yeah. Why not come back and be
Yeah.
that first episode? Be like, boom, and here's how Idlewild was.
That's a great
I think
idea.
that'd be a lot of fun.
So that trip is probably the top of my list, but I'm also, you know what? I'm just going to try to play a lot of disc golf. Like, I do have Ledgestone. I'm planning on going pretty hard for Ledgestone this year.
Heck yeah.
And then, trying to do as much video work as I can and really get really, really good at that.
I'm going to build a shed, and Jason's coming to help me.
Amen.
That's it.
Yes, you are.
Yeah.
I can't wait.
I got everything delivered to me on Monday, all the framing, all the trusses, purchased all of the tools,
Mm-hmm.
several nail guns,
Mm-hmm.
miter saws,
Yeah.
a cart for the riding mower so we can cart everything out to the back.
Oh, yeah.
So many things. We're going to start tomorrow night, start shooting nails. So
That's right.
Yep.
Yeah, the maple kind. Yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
What is that video called?
I don't know.
Just like early
It's like
days.
Talking dog
the
or
dog,
whatever.
yeah.
No, there was like
Uh-huh.
a name of the dog that
Yeah.
was like the title of it.
I mean, we're already talking about how rather than running electrical out to it, we're gonna put some solar panels up. on the
I've
one
looked into
side
it.
and-
I've looked into
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Yeah, there's some 200-watt kit options to like keep the TV and the the Wi-Fi
It's gonna
extender
be
going.
It's gonna be so sick.
So
Do it.
yeah,
It's gonna be one of the best man sheds. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. Are you finished?
I guess.
No, go ahead. My shit is
No, that's-
gonna derail. So
That's all I had.
This is a callback to your friend and mine, Jay-Z Trail Dust,
Oh, yeah.
He is going to be serving food at the showdown. He's going to be making, I think he said either pulled pork,
Sick.
or burgers.
This all started from you meeting
Yes.
him at a gas station,
That
right?
is insane. Yeah, yeah,
He
totally.
is,
Was that
he's
guy?
going to be
Yeah.
there serving food for free to all the players, and he'll have trail dust available for
What?
sale.
Brush your
Free?
shoulders off.
Yeah, I was like, dude, you could sell lunches to people, but also like give people a chance to try the stuff. And he's like, how about I just, make food for everybody and they can buy it if they want to, like the seasoning. Like, great. So,
Damn.
Yeah.
What a guy.
Yep.
That's cool.
I
That is
put
cool.
that on
That is super cool.
baked chicken.
Everything.
Yeah.
I have put it
So
on
good.
quite a bit. Mac and cheese, pizza, chicken.
Yes.
Yes.
And
All good.
this all started because I ran out of trail dust. I bought a box of it. I'm all out of it. And I was like, how do I get more? I don't want to just buy another box. Maybe I can just start a like friendship and like sponsorship type connection. So that's kind of what he may be doing something with the show for the second half of the season. But I'll tell you guys more later.
That's cool.
Nice.
Listeners, if you do not follow Jay-Z Trail Dust on Facebook yet, do that. Order the seasoning. It's incredible. And let us know what you think.
Yeah.
Letter J, letter Z. It's
Letter
not-
J, letter Z.
It's not Jay-Z.
No, his name is Joe. His
Mr.
last name is
Beyonce.
Z. I can't pronounce his last name, but is Joe Z. So Jay-Z. Summer plans.
Summer plans. I am
Oh,
just
well,
really
oh, well,
excited.
oh, well,
What would you do? I'm just happy that it's here. Like in the way that you don't want to pack for camping, I don't want to
Overbook.
overbook. There are things.
Very smart.
Sheila's birthday, as we mentioned, big 4-0. My birthday, big 4-0. A handful of tournaments. I'm just happy that the wind doesn't hurt my face.
Yeah.
I am that easy to please. That it's just like that enough is just. I'm so excited for this time of year to be here.
The last 3 times we have been out playing disc golf, I've been saying, hey, we're wearing shorts.
This is the weather. Waking up and just drinking coffee outside with the dogs and the chairs back there.
That's
It's
so
just
nice.
like church.
So you could say that you're most excited for, those summer.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay, good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Excellent.
I hate it.
Oh, that's great.
It was mostly in key.
No.
Couldn't leave the room.
Oh,
No.
That's pretty good.
No.
All
Other than
right.
that glass shattering over there.
Yeah.
Everything's good.
We have 2 things left on this episode. So for the last time during the front 9 of season 4, Jason, take us into the mailbag.
Does that mean it's
Mail time.
Does that mean it's
Mail time.
we gotta get through one of these.
I don't know if we're going to get it.
All right, here we
one
go.
One more time.
One last time.
This
Does
is
that
it.
mean it's
Mail time.
Mail time.
Mail time.
We had a big old mailbag submission from my buddy and yours, Jackie T. Horns, and I'm not going to hit all of them.
Some of them are good.
But there was something he said here that was pretty good. I want to talk about it.
There were a couple of funnies.
Do you think reincarnation explains anxiety? Like people who are generally anxious are anxious because they don't know how the world works because it's their first time being incarnated on this earth. And people that are naturally relaxed and confident have been reincarnated before, so they know how the world works already. I kind of like that thought.
I like that thought a lot.
Yeah.
People who are just chill all the time, it seems like it comes from a place of wisdom,
Like,
right?
this is not my first rodeo.
Right.
Yeah.
I never thought of it from that
Listeners, I
perspective.
wish the neck movements translated and
That was
Sheila's.
Sherry
This ain't
Robo.
my first rodeo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If that's the case, my mother has been reincarnated
Yeah.
100 times.
Yeah, she's been here before.
She's the chillest.
She's just a very confident person.
Confident.
Yeah.
It's such a good vibe.
In the right situation, sure. Your 8th grade graduation, maybe not so much.
Story.
That's for another episode.
Okay.
But he also wants to know if we think rib condoms would be less or more popular if they were rib flavored.
That has to exist somewhere.
I don't
Somebody
think it
made
would
that.
hurt.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
It wouldn't hurt anything. Yeah.
God, that's so gross.
If you're looking,
Oh.
if you're worried about a little bit more pleasure, rib flavor would probably be right up your alley.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yep.
Nicely put. All right.
Yeah.
Brad Perini has our next question. He wants to know, from a returning player perspective, how has the disc golf scene changed? What new angles are you seeing and bringing to the TD side of it? So yeah, let's bring the conversation full circle. You just spoke a lot about how being a player has kind of reinvigorated you. What are you going to take then to the TD side of things when you get back into it?
Continue to give 110% because it matters so much. And I felt that it matters a ton.
Yeah.
So that when I got back to Tournament Central and Steve was hugging on me and dapping me up and making me feel cool, like that's important because I did a cool thing that made me feel great and he was a part of it. So to continue to give 110% and know that every time I do it, it matters every single time.
That's a great answer because it flows directly into Devin Hernandez's question. He says, as you are coming back into the tourney scene, do you think you perform better when you stick to your game plan or when you just have a flow state chilling with a good card and playing carefree? What was this last tournament like for you?
You had to be a mix of the two because just what you said about laying up on the that was a game plan.
That was game plan, but it was also I didn't know that was going to happen.
Gotcha.
I'm
That's what felt right in
I'm
the
calling
moment.
those shots in the moment. I'm going, okay, that flared 50 feet to the left from where I wanted it to be. Nope. And I didn't know that when I was on hole 3.
Yeah.
So
I think it's a flow state situation.
yeah,
I didn't really
I
have a
agree.
game plan other than to play how I think I should and vibe with the dudes on my card.
Yep.
That was it. There's no like, okay, on hole 3, I'm going to, I mean,
Yeah.
some people have, I've seen it, notebook lists of
Oh, yeah.
things and what disc they're going to throw. And
Yeah.
no, let's get
Definitely not
let's
thinking
get there
about
and figure it
like
out.
that.
Yeah.
100% flow state.
Shout out Devin Hernandez. He is the new captain of Disc Golf Chicago for the Club Challenge.
He's the captain now.
Sick.
He is the captain now. Yes.
That's great.
Yeah.
Very cool.
He's the spirit animal for us. Like, why the hell
Totally.
should
Oh,
he
yeah.
not be the captain?
Right.
For sure.
People are going to follow him more than they're going to
First
follow
time ever
me.
doing that?
Yeah, I mean, this is only our second year doing it, and I was the captain last year.
Oh,
so,
right.
Yeah. I was like, dude, Devin, do
That
you
is-
want this? Because you should do it. And he was like, of course.
Did
he
his
was-
intense eye contact get even more intense in that moment? And
It
he
was a
like,
phone call, but I felt it. I felt it.
Yeah.
Are you
Hell
looking
yeah.
through my window right now?
How are you here? Our next question comes from one of our top fans on Facebook. His name is Sir David Cope. He has a question for Sean of all the elevated baskets in our local area. Which one is your favorite and why?
Shanny hole 4.
Gotta be.
Topical.
J-Town, baby.
J-Town, baby. And it's very cool looking. It is about as high as a basket should get. Sorry, Sir David Cope. I love you dearly.
Nicely done. So not only did we have some recent mailbag questions, I also dove into some older ones that we didn't necessarily
Okay.
get to in past
I
episodes.
Like that.
And Nick Kaminsky, who is also one of our top fans on Facebook.
And also wants to really attend a record, as you would say.
because that's how you say it.
Recording.
He has a question for Sheila. What is the easiest part of producing Unstable Discourse? And what is the most difficult?
Amazing question.
Yeah.
I can't wait for this.
I'll start with the most difficult, and that would be scheduling and topics. We have all these ideas floating around, but it's like lassoing them and making them fit in the calendar with you guys, but also the guests and just the making that all come together. And we recorded our house, which has dogs and like all sorts of distractions, worrying that something's going to go wrong with that. Those are the most difficult things.
Easiest?
Can I guess what the easiest thing is?
Sure.
Is it like hosting and like setting out treats and drinks? Because I'm just really good at that.
That's not easy for me because I'm like, oh, I have to clean. I have to get this stuff. I have to do. I love doing it, but it's still not like,
Yeah, okay.
I got this. No big deal. I mean, it is part of who I am, but
So
I
it feels so nice here.
You're just very
Yay.
humble. You do a very good job of that.
Thank you.
When she goes to set stuff out, she's thinking, what would I bring camping with me?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay,
No,
bring
it's
that.
whatever snacks I want, and then also
Definitely
making
not ketchup because Jason's going to
Jason.
get that.
Yeah. He's
yeah.
going to get 2 bottles for $4.
And we only have 5 hot dogs.
Yeah, making sure there's
And
enough
we're gonna be
Mountain Dew
camping
for Ryan.
one night.
Yeah. Yeah.
What's the real easiest answer?
Is knowing that you guys can make it all happen. If you have the layout, I know that it'll just come to fruition.
She listens. She listens.
Duh.
Throwback.
Yeah.
That's a nice compliment. Thank you.
Yeah.
Feel good. Nick also had a question for me. He wanted to know what makes me most proud of my brother Sean. And Nick, I'll be honest with you, it was 2 episodes ago. The look on his face when he realized the answer to my question was REMM. I don't think I've ever been more proud of him. No, that's my jokey answer. My real answer is it's pretty obvious. It's everything he's done for J-Town and in the local disc golf scene. It just makes me incredibly proud. For the longest time, he was my little brother, but now I'm very proud when I get the opportunity to say that I'm Sean's brother. So that makes me very proud.
Thanks, dog.
I didn't come here to cry.
Well, now you are. And that's why we are now headed into the trivia portion of the night.
Now, come on.
Trivia portion of the night.
So just like I've done for previous episodes, what I have for you guys tonight is a smushed together cover band name for you guys. This time I'm going to give you the name of a singer and then the name of the album that they would cover. And you guys need to tell me what that cover band would be.
I can't
Got it.
wait. I can't wait.
Also, I want to let you guys know real quick. I've had people message me their versions of this.
Me too.
Me too.
Yeah.
Me too.
And I might pull one up. So
All right.
you go first.
That's how much the listeners are loving it, even though you're not Ryan, so suck it. If
I'll cut this shit out.
If Jacoby Shaddix's band decided to cover 1966's If You Can Believe Your Eyes and Ears, what would that project be called?
Nope.
If Jacoby Shaddix's band covered the album from 1966 called If You Can Believe Your Eyes and Ears.
What origin is Jacoby Shaddix? That might help steer me in a direction.
Can you use that in a sentence, please?
Very
Country of
famous
origin, please.
band, very famous rock band from the late 90s, early aughts. Jacoby Shaddix was in a huge band, had one of the biggest hits of the late 90s, as his band was part of the post-grunge nu metal movement.
Can we get a sound clip?
Yes, that should definitely be part of this.
There is a very famous song from that album that its title has to do with a day of the week. God, I thought you guys would get this one immediately. I'm gonna have to tell you.
It's so obvious.
That project. would
Wait,
be
wait.
called-
Just give us one half and let us see if we
Yeah.
can work it out.
Which half?
I don't care.
You're the dungeon master. I don't.
Jacoby Shaddix is the lead singer of Papa Roach.
Not even for a second.
No.
The Mamas and the Papa Roach.
Thank you very much. The Mamas and the Papa Roach.
Nice.
Yes.
What's the song?
Monday. Monday.
Ugh.
One of the best.
Mamas and the Papa Roach.
Yep.
I do like the game. It's just very hard.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm going to say one.
All right.
Amy Laskowski sent this to me.
Oh, nice. I'm gonna get it
I
immediately.
feel like I know
going.
the answer, so I'm not.
Yeah, you're not eligible.
Yeah.
If Peter Jean Hernandez was deloused in the comatorium.
Deloused is nah. Oh, I can. Oh, come on.
Oh.
don't
I know the song.
Either of those things.
No, it's
The game isn't so easy now, is it?
At the drive-in broke up into 2 bands.
2 bands. Yep.
One of those bands is called Sparta. The other band is called
Planet.
Planet in Our Solar System.
Name a planet that isn't in our solar system.
Correct.
Mars Volta. Jesus Christ.
Okay.
You
got half
and that
of
would
it.
be Jason Mraz Volta.
That's hilarious.
Mars? Bruno Mars Volta.
There it is.
Jesus Christ Almighty. Oh, that took a while.
See?
Yeah.
How do
see?
you like it?
All right, fine. You know what? You know what, shitheads? I got one more for you. And this one was listener submitted, and it's a triple down. There are 3 band names involved in this one. Jesus.
Who submitted it?
Past guest of the show, Patrick Richard.
Oh.
Okay.
You're a semi-charm post-grunge band that plays songs off an early 90s album with a girl dressed in a bee costume on the cover with backup vocals from a rock and roll Hall of Fame farmer who sings about America.
Third Eye Blind Melon Camp.
Yes! Yes.
Damn, dog.
Yes.
I'm gonna play that in real time.
Yeah. My God. Nailed it.
Wow.
Good job, Sheila.
Holy
That took
shit!
you about
What
2
the-
seconds.
Thank you.
Wow.
Suck
Very
it.
nicely done.
Well done.
Good job, Wonderkind, as well.
Suck it.
Yeah, that was a good one. And that was tonight's trivia portion of the night. Brought to you by Bag of Tricks Entertainment. Follow us on all the social medias. Find out where we're going to be.
I'm surprised that we haven't called that out every time you've done trivia portion. Like, that's the whole
We
reason.
did back in the day,
Back
and
in
I
the day.
totally forgot about it when I brought
Yeah,
it back.
that is
So
the
now
reason.
I'm remembering to bring it back.
You guys
That
need
was the way you got on the show.
You guys need a tagline. Brought to you by Bag of Tricks.
.com.
Insert tagline.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Our bags have tricks in them.
Yeah.
Yeah, something
It's
like that.
trigger. Okay. Cool. That was a pretty high point of the episode with Sheila's genius.
God.
And that is a wrap on the episode.
Mm-hmm.
Should we fist bump like at the end of a disc golf round?
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, we should.
Yeah.
fist bump.
Good
Right.
good recording with y'all.
Should we all do it at once and then pause right? Yeah.
Standing on the edge of tomorrow.
Yeah.
Today.
Good episode, guys. Thank you,
Yep.
listeners. Thanks for listening. We'll be back in a undetermined amount of time. Just later this
At
summer.
least 2.5
early
months.
fall,
Stop
probably
acting
sooner.
like it'll be sooner. It'll be at least 2.5 months.
Yep. And in
We'll
the
get
meantime,
to it.
go back, listen to the old episodes, and you know what? If you like them, leave a review about them.
Yes.
Tell your friends about them.
Yeah.
Share them.
Yeah.
All that
Helps
stuff.
everybody. But we do appreciate you guys listening. We appreciate you jumping into the mailbag when we ask for that kind of thing. And all of your support keeps us going. So thank you all. Enjoy your summers. Until next time, keep it on the fairway.
See ya.
Y'all be good now.
Wear sunscreen. Unstable Discourse is produced by Sheila Callahan. Edited by Ryan Fancher. Beats provided by Alex Seminary. And produced in association with Unstable Disc Golf Gear. Look good, feel good, play good.
Unstable Discourse is a Top Secret Studios production, baby.
See? How do you like it?